Last week, guys, we're almost there. Rounding out our applications for this online course is Google Sites. Google Sites, again, very similar to Forms, is its own thing. There's not anything we can really compare it to as far as Microsoft and Apple goes. Google Sites is used to make, you probably figured out by now, websites. So this is a great tool that you can use in substitution or in conjunction with something like Google Classroom or your teacher site, or a great opportunity for students to create their own sites for projects and portfolios. Along the top, we have our menu bar, very similar look and layout to Forms. You'll see that little icon again, icon, I guess, which is for preview. So at any point in time, you select that and you can preview what your site looks like. Okay, you can interact, and we'll go back into this at the end so you can see some things. Close out of that. We have a More button. Not too much in the More button here. We have our Share button, so you can, again, add collaborators. So you can work on a team. It could be a group project. The Publish button, unique to Google Sites. When you publish your website, you actually get a URL. And so your URL consists of sites, google.com, hamilton.ktel, etc., etc., whatever name you give your website. Okay, making it, again, viewable by anyone in the Hamilton Township School District, or you can adjust that to be viewable by anyone. Okay. So to the right are all the kind of tools that we have for this particular application. To the right, far right, we have themes, which is very similar to themes in slides, in which we can adjust the overall look of our website. With each one of these themes, there's default fonts as well as colors that you can customize. So maybe you want to go with a yellow. You can also pick from a spectrum of colors, or even type in a hexadecimal number for a color scheme you're looking for. Okay. Font styles. Each one offers something different to choose from. You just find the one that works for you. Okay. And so that's themes. And again, that's going to adjust the theme for every page that you've created. Next to themes, we have pages. So right now we have a home page. Every website you create starts out with that home page. How many pages and subpages you add after that is entirely up to you. Okay. 3 dots next to that page, you have the option to duplicate a page. If you have a lot of the content that you're going to reuse or a format you want to reuse, you can do that. You can add a subpage. Okay. Give your page a name. Hit done. Now we see that subpage. Or if we come down here, we can add a totally new page altogether. Okay. I'm just going to call this one Help. Okay. So as you add these new pages down here, you'll notice that on your navigation bar along the top here, that particular page appears here as well. In addition to that, since we added a subpage for the About, under Home, you'll notice there's a drop-down arrow there that displays About. At any point in time, though, you can rearrange these pages just by clicking and dragging them around. So maybe we want About to be its own page. Now it's here. Okay. Maybe we want Help to be a subpage of About. We drag it and drop it right on top of About, and now it appears like this. Okay. So some flexibility there in how you can arrange your pages, either prior to creating them or even after, later on after you've created them. Okay. Within the page, sticking with the layout and the pages, you have your navigation bar at the top here. If you hover over top of it, you have a little gear. You can choose between side navigation with the 3 little lines here, or top bar navigation, which is what we had prior. Okay. Underneath that is your header. Every page is going to have a header. So if you notice, Help, About, Home, those all have their title in the header. You can adjust the header type, okay, making it large, making it title only if you want a picture, okay, and then you can adjust that cover image as well Same options as last time. We can select from the gallery that we have access to, or you can even search just as we did in the other apps. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change that one, and you'll notice if I go back to help, that banner is still the same. Okay, that banner is different for every page, and that's customizable by you. Okay, you have some options here. This is a fairly new one for adjusting readability. It basically takes into account the font colors as well as the background image and makes it as legible as possible. The text box, you just simply click in there and you can change the name of that title. You have some options as far as alignments go and even making links. Okay. The body of our pages, okay, right now we have nothing on any of them. So to fill those web pages or add content to it, whenever we want to add, we look for insert. Okay, and under the insert is a number of things that we have access to inserting into our web pages. We can add text boxes. Okay, so we click on a text box, it pops it in. We can add images. Okay, as I misspell that finger. Okay, there we go. You can embed something. So remember earlier we were talking about embed codes for Google Forms. You could put that embed code right in here and embed that form directly in here. Okay. If you had something from your computer you wanted to upload, a file, a PDF, you can do that. There's an option for a little divider. Okay. And then of course you have access to your drive. So anything in your drive you'd like to add, you can do so. Okay. So if we take a look here, you can go through all your folders and look for the file you want to add. There's a few other extras that can be added to each page, such as YouTube videos. You can add one of your calendars if you like, and even a Google Map option. And then further down, if you're looking for something specific, you have each one of the apps offered by Google to narrow your search. And there's our assessment that we made in our last video. If we hit insert, there it is. Okay. Now, as all these different, let's call them content areas are being added, you can adjust all of them later on, just as we did in slides. So if we want to make this larger, we can do so. Okay. If we want to rearrange the order in which these things appear, we can do that as well. Okay. Adding text in a text box. We just click in the text box and start typing. As we do that, our toolbar for text appears above it. Here's that same option we had with docs for styles. Okay. This plays into a lot with website accessibility for those using screen readers, which is a workshop that we offer during the summer as well. Okay. To the side here, we have the same icons that we've seen before. We can adjust the look of it or theme of this particular section. We can duplicate this section or we can delete it. Okay. Now with the pictures, it doesn't take up a whole section, so we can move it around within the section. We can shrink it up, and we can even add it to the section here with our text. Okay, so these aren't limited to just one particular section area. We can manipulate things and move them around. Okay, and as you're doing so, you'll notice you have little guidelines that appear throughout your page. All right, so that's just a quick look at adding content and navigating your site. Again, anytime you make changes, you can always click this little icon to preview and see what your site looks like. Okay. Those on your site, again, this form is interactive. They can take this form right on your site. You can even see what it's going to look like in mobile view, on an iPad, a smartphone. Okay. Close out of it and get back. Okay. So that is taking a look at Google Sites. Otherwise, that is all I have for you guys with Google Sites. Be sure to check out that hyperdoc for Google Sites for more resources on learning and different ways to implement sites into your classroom. This is the last topic that is covered in this online course. Hopefully you've gotten a lot out of this. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to post them in the classroom or email us directly.